Alright, so this session is about OSPF Totally NSSA configuration. How to configure Total NSSA in routers. Okay, so this is our topology that we are going to use, and there are a couple of routers. There is a R1 and R2. Both are running RIP routing protocol, and R2 and R3 are running OSPF area 0, and R3 and R4 are running OSPF area 1, and this is the area 1 is the one where we need to configure totally NSSA. Alright, so all the IP address and routing related protocols have been pre-configured in the routers. You can check it here. I'll show you just a second. And this is the information over there. Okay, so and this is the IP that has been configured on the router R1. It's 12.1 and 1.1.1 is a loopback. We are going to verify with that one of the loopbacks, that is 1.1.1/32. We need to make a note of it, by which we can able to check our reachability for redistribution process. Okay, next is router RIP configuration. R1 is running only one routing protocol, and that routing protocol is a RIP, so we are checking about this configuration where all the routes are being advertised. Next is R2. R2 is a routing protocol. R2 runs two routing protocols, that is a RIP and a OSPF, and the IP address is being configured here. Okay, next is, we can also see about I have redistributed both the networks, that is RIP to OSPF, and from OSPF to RIP I have redistributed both the routing protocols. So the redistribution process is completed in R2. Next we are going to R3, where R3 which runs the OSPF routing protocol, and it has been two routing information, that is area 0 and area 1. One network is being advertised to area 0 and the other interface is being advertised to the area 1 in R3. While in case of R4, it is running only one routing protocol, and that is OSPF, which is being connected to the area 1. This configuration is being as similar to this topology. Okay, so this is our total configuration, and the next process is to configure total NSSA in our scenario. Alright, before that, let me give you a general introduction about what is total NSSA. To start with total NSSA, we should have why this. What is the total NSSA? Not so STUB area. First, the name indicates a STUB. So first we should know about what is a STUB. As we have seen earlier, general introduction means we can say it as STUB, which helps you to block the redistributed network. That is, type 5 LSA will be blocked in STUB. So there is no type 5 LSA, there is no redistribution in STUB. That's it, blocked. This is what a STUB is about. Block type 5 and redistribution. This is a STUB process. Next is you can check about NSSA, not so STUB area. So not so STUB area means, so in order to overcome a STUB, if you are using a router that needs to configure a STUB, but at the same time it has to do some sort of redistribution, that plays a NSSA role. So not so STUB area, which helps you to do a redistribution, but the redistribution is being done with the help of special type of LSA, which is nothing but a type 7 LSA, which is mainly focused on NSSA area types. So this is what a NSSA. If you want to do a STUB with a redistribution, the NSSA plays a vital role. Okay, so this is a NSSA. Next is about total NSSA. If you want to check about total NSSA, we should be aware about total STUB. So as I mentioned earlier, in STUB it blocks at type 5. The totally STUB will blocks type 3 also. That is, the routes that is being originating from the other areas will also be blocked. So this is what a totally STUB. Okay, so that is OA will be blocked. Next is about type. It's totally NSSA. Totally NSSA, it not only blocks type 5, it also blocks a type 3, similar to that of a STUB, totally STUB. It also blocks type 3 and type 5, and it generates a type 7 LSA. Not so STUB area, it blocks type 3 and type 5, and the entire thing will be given in terms of type 7 LSA. So this is what totally NSSA is all about. So let's move on to the configuration. It might be more easier for you to understand. Okay, so this is our R1, R2, R3 and R4. So let's see our topology. And now what we are going to do is, first I am going to configure NSSA between R3 and R4. Alright, the first thing we are going to configure NSSA between R3 and R4. It's router OSPF 1 and it's area 1 NSSA. So within a couple of seconds the neighborship is lost, and after I configure the neighbor to be as NSSA area, the neighbor might come up. The neighbor will come up. Router OSPF 1 area 1 NSSA. So it has been forcing to reset. Alright, so now it's came up. Okay. Now we can check our routing table. What are the routes that we can able to see? There's only one route. So in order to demonstrate to at least NSSA, it's mainly focused on redistribution process, as I said in the scenario over here. What is what? Now I'm going to create one loopback and redistribute into OSPF. Whether is it possible or not, we need to confirm it, right? So IP address 4.4.4.4 and 255. Okay, so this is the IP address that I'm using. Router OSPF 1. Since I have already given the command, it has been advertised. So redistribute. Sorry, I haven't redistributed the network till, I think so. Once again, I'll just confirm it. Okay, I haven't redistributed the information. So I am going to redistribute connected subnets. The command is acceptable, but suppose if you are using this as a stub area, it will throw you an error message mentioning that it is being given to only one area and that area is a stub area. So some sort of information will be displayed in the console, so which means the redistribution is not possible in the stub area. Here we are configuring it as a not so stub area, so the redistribution is allowed. So but the redistribution is being given in terms of type 7 LSA, show IP OSPF database. We have advertised the 4.4.4.4, okay, in redistribution, the redistribution which gives a type of type 7 LSA, which is nothing but a NSSA area. Okay, so this is what we have done now. Whether we can able to reach any other outer routing protocol informations. In order to check that, first we need to check our routing table. Okay, show IP route OSPF. So this is what we got. We didn't have any information for 1.1.1. Let's try to ping. It's not possible. But if you try it over here, show IP route, you can able to see this information 4.4.4.4, as this information is being advertised, but this information will not be reachable. The reason is only the forward message is been from R1 to R4, it's been learning from, but the reverse traffic from R4 to R1 is not possible. That's the reason here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to total NSSA. But if you want to configure to be as a just a NSSA and to form a reachability, you need to create a default route in the ABR mentioning the particular area, so that all the routes within the area, within the NSSA area is reachable, or else it will not be reachable. The configuration is been already shared in the previous sessions itself. Okay, now let's move on to the total NSSA, which is what we are focusing as of now. Okay, so now it's not reachable. Let's make a note of the routing table once. Show IP route OSPF. So this is the routing table that we got as of now. and we will make a note over here. Okay, so this is the routing table information. Now I'm going to make this as totally NSSA. Total NSSA is nothing but we need to give information in the ABR router which helps you to block the type 3 LSA. Okay, so this is the network 123.0 will be blocked. Instead of that, it will give a default route in order to reach a destination. Okay, so let's check that. Okay, area 1 NSSA no summary. This is the command which helps you to give that. Okay, this has to be configured only in the ABR router, not in all the routers. Now let's check the same information. Now you can able to see instead of that 23.0, which is the information from the other area, that network information is being removed, and instead of that the single default route is being given. So whatever the reachability, that will move on with this default route instead of any particular prefixes. Okay, so let's try to ping the same IP 1.1.1.1. so this information is being given reachable. So if we check the routing table over here to show IP route, we can see the 4.4.4.4 is via ON2, which is nothing but OSPF not so STUB area with a type 2. Alright, but if we check with R2, which is from different area, you can see this information is being converted to type 5 LSA. It's not a type 7, it has been converted to type 5 and is being advertised to R1. If you check at R1, you can able to see this information with the RIP routing protocol R. Okay. So let's try to ping this information whether it is reachable or not. Hey, it's reachable. So this is the way that you need to configure OSPF total not just STUB area. So it helps you reduce the routing table and it helps you to block the OI, that is ABR router information, that is from type 3 LSA and type 7 LSA. Instead of that, it will create a single default route in order to reach a particular destination. So this is what is about OSPF NSSA area, sorry, total NSSA area. I hope you understand this. If you have any queries or questions regarding this, just give a comment. That's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.